All right, folks, so welcome back. And as we speak, the Senate, the U.S. Senate, getting ready to vote on the budget bill, which will pass the Senate, no doubt about that. It's already passed the House, and the president will sign it. Included in that budget are cuts to our veterans, cuts to their cost of living benefits, and it's an outrage. Many are outraged. Many Republicans in the Senate are outraged. John McCain, though, says he's voting for this, which I really don't understand. But joining us right now to talk about that and some other issues of interest, of course, is Lieutenant Colonel Rick Francona, U.S. Air Force, retired, of course, and former CNN military analyst. And hello, Colonel. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Steve.
Good to talk to you.
Finding out that our pensions are going to be cut, but I'm doing fine.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. One of the things, of course, and by the way, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you. Great to talk to you again. Why do you think this is happening? I mean, now, while we depend so much and have for so many years, we've been at war for, the better part of the last 13 years. Well, why, with men and women still in the field, even if that wasn't the case, but especially since it is, why did they choose here to cut?
Well, the military is an easy target for Congress to go after because the military is not one constituency. Although there are a lot of military retirees, there are a lot of veterans, a lot of people on active duty, they don't represent one constituency. They're spread out very thinly over 50. So very few of these seats really rely on the military vote. So we don't have a voice. No one listens to me when I call my congressman.
Yeah, but it's one of the reasons, stated reasons, at least for the Republicans, for passing this bill in the House was that it'll end the sequester, and even McCain said this, I believe, in the Senate, and it'll bring money back, much needed money back to the military, which had undergone cuts. It required cuts on the sequester. So people do stick up for the military cause, care about the military cause, but it just seems like the vets here are just getting thrown under the bus.
Yeah, well, it's a very small portion of the retirees, and the way the law reads, it's very interesting. It says from the time you retire until the time you're 62, you will lose 1% of the COLA, the cost of a living allowance that everybody else gets for that period of time. And then when you turn 62, there'll be some sort of a catch-up provision. But it really is unfair because you, unless you're in the reserves or the National Guard, you can't stay in the military till you're 62. You serve 30 years and you're out. So if you come in, I came in at 19, I could not have served longer than 49.
Right,
so,
right.
So right away, I'm looking at from 49 to 62, losing a COLA every year. And this was money that, I banked on. When you come into the service, they tell you, here's how your retirement is structured. And many of us planned our future lives on that. And now, as I'm retired, I'm looking at next year, I was told I'm going to get a 1.5 cost of living allowance, which is fairly low because of the way they calculate it. Now, they said, well, we're just going to give you 0.5% because we think you're still of working age. Or you should have stayed in the military till you're 62. I would have been forcibly retired at 40.
Right. Yeah. It's just crazy, and lots of public unions or look at Detroit and places that go bankrupt. The union members cry, well, we were promised this, we were promised that. But that's different. And even and I know our federal government has its problems, but there have to be. I mean, we just got a list from Senator Coburn about the this waste, this massive amount of waste to study everything under the sun, the sex lives of ants. I mean, if they cut away all that garbage, they could have given you guys raises in COLA.
Yeah, pole dancing is an art form.
In Texas, yeah. I'd like to conduct that study next time, by the way.
And Steve, I mean, everybody in the military, I mean, we want to do our part. I mean, we think we've contributed, and we want to continue to contribute. And personally, 0.5%, 1%, it's not going to cripple me. But it's the principle and the perception, I think, that are going to be real issues here. Because it's not just the COLA that is being cut. It's increases in our TRICARE, our medical insurance. All of those copays are going up drastically. My copays for prescription drugs went up probably about 80% in the last year.
Yeah, it really is very, very sad. Listen, Rick, we'll have you back soon, and I appreciate you coming on. And again, have a great holiday and a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And we'll speak to you soon. Thank you, Rick. Right. Lieutenant Colonel Rick Francona, ladies and gentlemen. He is, of course, former CNN military analyst, and I think he was an NBC military analyst at one point as well? Anyway, we're privileged to know him and have him on the show, and we'll have him back again to talk about all things military in the future. We have one final hour left in the Wednesday edition of the Steve Malzberg Show. When we come back, joining us will be Charles Hurt. If it's Wednesday and the top of the final hour, it's got to be Charles Hurt. Washington Times columnist will join us. And then Babette Maxwell, she feels this directly as well, and she gets feedback from many, many, many thousands of military people because she's the founder of Military Spouse Magazine. So she will weigh in on these budget cuts. And then Robert Davi. Robert Davi, my favorite actor in the whole wide world and singer. Of course, you could check him out at DaviSingsSinatra.com. We'll tell you where he's appearing, and we're going to debut right here his song, A New York City Christmas. When you hear this, you're going to be blown away. Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.